Can I actually have you stand back in the sun? Just you're silhouetted.
It does make my payas shine that particular shade.
That's what it was about.
That's what it's all about.
So yeah, they're talking about making circumcision illegal, making a brit milah.
Right, I've heard of that. I'm not really familiar with the issue, though I know in England, also in certain places in Europe, they've also been very much against it. That it's become a widespread practice across, the Western world of having involved. That's their business. That people should.
Every child surgically.
Yeah, I understand that, and that they feel that for whatever reasons, whether that is, I don't know, cruel to the whales or something. Okay, I have no problem with that. But for, to suggest that within our culture, which spans thousands and thousands of years, we're talking about 4,000 years since we received the Torah at Har Sinai. Right, this has been something we've been going that transcends what civilization is we know it. To question that or somehow say there's a problem, with the unfairness and cruelty of infants being forced to have bris milah, I think is a very not so well veiled form of anti-Semitism, because I have yet to see a Jewish male come forward and say, "How dare you? I always wanted my foreskin." It's absurd. And whatever policies they want to have in terms of their health care, but to interfere with something that's been with us and is crucial to our covenant with our Creator, that goes for thousands of years, I think I've expressed my opinion. I really feel it's some veiled form of anti-Semitism, and I wish everybody the very, very best and have a happy, joyous life.
Is it the tip of the iceberg?
So to speak, the tip of the iceberg. Is that a...
in terms of, do you think it's a serious attempt at reversing all religious, or certainly, or specifically Jewish religious, it's a fundamental notion of Judaism?
Yes, it is. And I think it's, a Kodesh Baruch Hu, when he did the bris milah, he could have had us, clip off the tips of our noses. Every time I look in a mirror, then I'm going to see that, hey, remember God. But this is a unique thing that human beings have. One of the tremendous things about the Creator is that he is the only being that created something from nothing. As a matter of fact, he had to create nothing in order to create something in it. And for part of Jewish heritage is a few people joining together in holiness and being able to come together to actually bring new beings into the world. There's something of the utmost kedusha, holiness, and is a very, very beautiful spiritual and thing. So to question that, where we really get to join together as partners with God and bringing new, souls into the world, new creations, new human beings, it strikes at the very heart of Judaism and our relationship with our Creator.
Dad, do you have any?
Yeah, my question is, do you think there's latent anti-Semitism involved in some of these? Well, for example, in Norway, there's talk that they say it should only be a symbolic thing, a prayer, but not a physical act.
I respect people's, the very thing that they're claiming to, champion, which is people's rights. And for people, Judaism is not something where we're trying to force. I've never forced a Norwegian to put on a yarmulke or go for the great haircut that I have, which I can't imagine why everyone wouldn't want to have their hair that way. We never force our will, impose our will on anybody. And I think that's really cute and amusing part of this whole thing. That under the guise of some kind of pluralism and fairness, they're doing the exact same, the exact thing that they're supposedly fighting. They're going to force me to abandon, a covenant with, historically. From this day, back thousands of years, father to son, that there was actually, amazingly, mass prophecy. Where the Jewish people heard God, between 2 and 3 million people heard God's voice. And that's been uncontested. You want to say there's an archaeological dig or something, it's dust on a glorious garment, it's nothing, Anyway, the Bible critic, they're trying to impose, under the guise of liberalism and acceptance and, actually trying to impose, their will on us. I'm not trying to impose. You don't want to circumcise your kid? Don't. But are you trying to tell me I can't?
They want to say that the child is not old enough to
You'll find
make
me
choice.
a Jewish...
What?
You're right, he's not. So, you shouldn't also teach him how to go to the bathroom. because a child doesn't know how to go to the toilet. You should just keep that kid in diapers, and whenever he's ready, which I'm sure there's some people who actually do that, then you can. Or why should he be forced to eat forks, spoons? Let that kid express himself. Let him sit there and eat with his fingers till he, till he's 18. Why should you? Why impose anything on anybody? It's absurd.
But they say it's a brutal act.
Okay, if that's the case, right? This has been going on for how long? How many thousands of years? Right? 4 or up, right? Go find me the kid. Find me a Jewish male who says, wow, I've been traumatized by this. This is horrible. How can my parents do that? I've been in therapy for the last, 20 years because of this horrible, brutal, barbaric act that my parents, it's absurd. It's a non-issue.
Well, I'll be honest with you. You're right. It's probably 1 in 1,000.
Have you ever heard one?
Yes, it happens. I just stumbled across somebody who I had met months ago who used to be Haredi, and I just happened to stumble across him 20 minutes ago and asked him the question. Wait, where did I know you from? Oh, right. And he was very embarrassed on camera, but so he didn't answer. But he basically, when I turned the camera off, he said, "Yeah, I think that's what trauma." So there are some people who feel that.
The guy who raised, we have a very, very difficult generation that we live in, and what's going on in the world is pretty incredible.
I'm not trying to make us 1 in 1,000. You can't make laws on.
I would say no, and
you can't make assumptions.
This guy comes from a Haredi family, and obviously, raised in that particular environment, and then choosing not to live that, to abandon that lifestyle means that he had a variety of, experiences that caused him to make those decisions. And I kind of think that, he's pulling at straws to say, wow, it all started, when I was 8 days old and I got, circumcised. I mean, come on, buddy. You had other problems. Your family, the family was too big. You had rabbi, educationally, socially, you were molested. You're going to tell me that bris milah is the thing? Seriously, my friend, I think it's more of an indication of his discontent with, they made him make the decisions that he did.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bris milah between me and you, Find me the guy, find me the caucus, get me give me those guys who are sitting there with Congress, and putting out that bucks to get that reverse, that brutal, it's a non-existent issue. It's other people who are in no way or have any obligation whatsoever to circumcise their children that are trying to impose their will on me.